I think I do slouch more than you.
Yeah. You're what they call in the trade sloucher.
I think this is how I would sit.
I don't think that's how you've ever sat in your life.
That's how I sit.
Right, hello, welcome to the Waffle and Ramble.
I don't sit like that.
Weekly episode. I don't sit up straight, and you make me. I'm a sloucher, but you make me look.
My seat sinks down more than yours. That's why.
I bet if there was a scale there, there's not much in it. I just hold it better.
All right.
We weigh the same. You look fat. I just am fat. That's the difference. We weigh. Hello, is anyone there? Right, this week we're going to do cinema. So you might have heard the news recently. You ain't pressed record.
You ain't clean the lens and turn the mic on.
Oh. Right, it's got a green.
We have a green light.
You might have heard the news recently that Cineworld and other cinemas they're struggling, aren't they?
They're struggling. They've closed and they're just waiting for the news.
But I don't think closed as in gone.
No, they're closed and you're just waiting for the imminent news that it's going to be closed forever. That bit hasn't happened yet.
The bit I read, it said they was hanging on for the Bond film.
Which has been put back.
It's put back and I've gone, that's all I was waiting for.
Because it was put back anyway, but it got put back to November, now it's been put back to April 2021.
Yeah, something like that.
So we thought we'd come up with a discussion about overall in cinema.
Yeah, nothing to do with cinema at all.
We're going to talk about how to make an omelette in the cinema.
Right, the first thing I'm going to chuck out there, and this ain't nothing that Cineworld or any of these cinemas, are they needed? No.
Well, this is the debate, isn't it? We've so many ways of streaming, and also now when films come out, you've watched films like before they've come out on Amazon.
Yeah, because they bring them out. You might have to pay, like some of the films we've watched. Like I think one that sprang a bell was that Invisible. Who's that lady off of Handmaid?
Oh, I know what lady
Invisible
you mean.
Man. I think there was a new Invisible Man film out, and it was on Amazon the same time as it was on the cinema.
Yeah, so
you had to pay £3 or £4.
But I don't think the film companies would make. The production studios would not make any money if they just put everything straight on TV.
I don't know.
So if you said, yeah, they could, but they wouldn't make nowhere near as much money. They'd have to charge an arm and a leg to get the money in. You can say put it on Amazon and we'll charge everyone a £5 to watch it, and they probably get more views than maybe you get at the cinema. But I don't think they're going to make as much money if they're charging 10, 15, sometimes 25 quid for a cinema ticket. If they're getting that over and over and over again for a big blockbuster, like say Bond, use that as the example.
We use that as
if they said, all right, we've got no cinemas, we're going to put it straight on Amazon or Netflix or whoever, you all pay a £5, they may get more people watch it than would go to the cinema, but I don't think the sums would add up. Because otherwise I think they would have done it by now.
But in the old days, you remember in the old days, it would come out on cinema, whatever film, we're talking going back 10, 15, 20 years, and then it would take ages. It would be in your Blockbuster, your Ritz and all them places.
Yeah.
And then after that, well, before you had Sky and all this...
you had to wait 6 months before the video.
And then it would come out properly on video for you can buy, normally probably in time for Christmas, and then about 3 years later it would be on TV.
Now, if a film comes out in January, there's a good chance it will be on terrestrial TV, not just Sky, within a year.
Within that year. It'll be in Sky probably within 6 months.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
if Netflix have bought it, it's on there 2 weeks later.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. So, in answer to your question, I think we do still need them because it is a social thing as well, and we can talk about the quality of like HD and things like that, and the Dolby sound and the UHD and the cinema. The big super duper massive screen, ultra high definition visibility and all that, and it does add to the experience.
It adds to the
experience. If you go and watch any of them Star Wars films, you ain't just watching it. You watch it on your telly. It ain't the same. If a brand new Star Wars film comes out, don't matter if you go and see it the first night or in the first month. That is not the same if you're watching it on your telly. I don't care if you've got the best OLED TV, there's 5K HD,
and you've got all surround sound.
It'll be good. It's a good home viewing experience, and it makes Coronation Street a lot better. But I still don't think it'll be the same. So I think that there is a place for cinema.
There's a but. You've paid all this money, right? So you're going to the cinema. You've paid, let's say, 15 quid each, 20 quid to get in. That's 40 quid. You're having something to eat, maybe before. You've spent another 20 quid.
You don't make it a night out,
You're buying some snacks in there or a drink. You've got a good chance of spending 100 quid, ain't you?
Yeah, if you do it as, say you've done it as like a date night. You're going out for a meal, and as you say, and if you're doing it as a date night, you ain't saying, look, let's not buy the food there because you know it's a rip-off. You want to impress your date. Of
course you do.
Because if it's a first date, or even if it's with your wife, you're not going to say, look, I bought 2 bags of minstrels from Poundland earlier.
Yeah, because we've...
Well, sneak them in your bag, which we do as a if you're just going to the cinema for as a new film out, we just go out for a couple of hours watching a new film.
You're smuggling the
for a
minstrels
date night. It's costing you £100 because you're buying the expensive recliner seats as well. They're like 18
But then
quid
that
a pop.
ain't stopping it. Having that little shit down the front, eating that pack of crisps.
Oh yeah,
or kicking your chair. So you
There's
sit
something
there
I was
like that.
listening to recently where it's like the rustling in cinema is one of the people's most annoying things that they can't stand.
I can't take it.
Let us know in the comments what the most annoying thing about going to the cinema is for you on a personal experience. You can't stand it. I don't like the rustling. Doesn't really bother me because I have the mindset when I go in, someone's going to rustle. There's going to be teenagers mucking around, probably depending on the film. My mindset is I accept what's going to happen. What I can't stand is it says the film starts at 7:30, right? You know as well as me that film's starting at 8 o'clock. That don't bother me, right? I will get there for 7:30. Yeah. What I can't stand is the film comes on at 8 o'clock, 5 minutes in, whether it's still on the credits at the beginning or if it's straight into the film, people coming.
Yeah, do you know why? I inquired about that.
What about people turning up?
No. I inquired.
It pisses me off.
I inquired because I think I had a cinema booked or something, and this is a couple of years ago. I was running late. Something happened. I can't remember the details. And I phoned them and said, "Look, what time does the film start?" And they give me the exact time.
Yeah.
So say it was 8 o'clock. It started. I think it was like 20 past. I think it's 20 minutes they give you. So I think people know that. They think I ain't watching them adverts. I'm walking in.
Yeah, but they're mistiming it. They're all mistiming it. Then you always get 2 people or 4 people will turn. I'm talking 5 minutes into the film, not the adverts. Not the adverts. If it says it starts at 8, as you just said, you ring the cinema up and they will tell you it's 20 past, it's 25 past. I've sat there for 40 minutes before, and there's been 40 minutes of ads. So you know that it says on your ticket 7:30. So you think, right, I need to be there at the latest 7:45, maybe 8 o'clock at a push. Right?
Yes.
People are turning up at 10 past 8. First of all, what's the point? Secondly, sit down.
Yeah.
And I know in all the modern cinemas now, wherever you sit, you can see. So you don't have none of this, there's someone's head in my way, like the old school style, where it's like you sit down and then a 6'8" bloke would sit in front
with an hat on.
With an hat on, and you're going, and you can't move because it's packed out. And someone then lights a cigarette back in the days and all that, and you're like, forget the rustle.
But I still, if we go there, and no, you can't say it if you don't go to cinema as much as you used to.
No, nowhere near.
I'm saying before all this kind of excuse they're using to close them, I think it's a dying breed anyway.
I do agree with that. I know circumstances this year have added to that.
They've added to it. But say me and you go cinema, we're sitting like this, and there's about 4 or 5 other people. Because a lot of the time there's not many people in them. 4 or 5 other people. We're sitting like this thinking, brilliant seats, we're sitting there, don't touch me leg. We're sitting there like that. Someone comes in, walking up, and you're thinking, I know where you're sitting. It's empty, and you're sitting there.
You're going to sit next to me.
You're sitting there. I don't want you sitting there.
Because when you book your tickets, whether you do it online, through an app, or if you've bought them at the till, the first thing they show you is the map of the
map.
Right, where do you want to sit? And the shaded areas are already taken. So there's all these white blocks, and there's 4 seats been taken. You're like, I'll get a seat next to the shaded area. Why are you doing that?
No, but
don't tell me I've sat in the seat exactly next to where you want to go.
Right, I've done it, and I think this could have been for this might have been for Rambo. It was one of the last few times, or it was Star Wars. That's the last 2 times I've been to cinema. Star Wars and Rambo. I can't remember which one it was. When I was booking it online, I got there pretty quick, and there was quite a few spaces. I weren't allowed to book more than once. I weren't allowed to book space away. So say me and you were sitting there.
Yeah.
I weren't allowed to leave a space and book. I had to book. I had to go next door.
So even do you think they do that even if it's an empty?
Well, it kind of makes sense because say me and you were going to cinema on our own. You book your seat there.
Yeah.
If I was booking it, you're thinking, I ain't sitting right next to someone I don't know. I ain't sitting there. I'm going to sit there.
Yeah.
But they're thinking, no one else is going to sit there then.
Yeah, so it's losing a seat.
It's losing
whether
a
you've
seat.
got 5 people watching the film or 500.
Yeah.
They're losing a seat. It does
It
make
makes
sense.
sense
But
if they know it's going to
if
be
you
packed.
walk in and the film's about to start and there's 6 people in there, that cinema's not filling up.
No
one's even going to come and check your seat either, are they?
They don't check your seat. They don't come and check your seat.
They don't even look at your ticket. There isn't even a man with a torch saying, it's the 5th row up. There's none of that anymore. It's all done electronically.
I don't find it. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and more miserable. I don't find it as enjoyable as I used to.
So we're lucky in the fact that we don't work a 9 to 5 job.
Yes.
Right. So we get days off in the week. We don't have a Monday to Friday job. We get days off in the week. We do different start times. So we get more time off in the week. I tend to go on my days off in the week, and I'll do it the earliest showing. If I want to go to the cinema, I will be in that cinema at 10 o'clock in the morning, watching whatever it doesn't matter what film it is, I will watch it. But as you say, I don't hardly go. The last time I went was Joker or Judy. I went to see them consecutive weeks.
All right.
And that again was a two days I had off on consecutive weeks, and I was there at 10 o'clock in the
And
morning.
that would have been last year, no, wouldn't it? So you ain't been this year?
No, but it's been hard to go this year. No, I think it was earlier this year when Joker and Judy were out. Well, whenever they was out, whether it was last year.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. So no, this year's a write-off, and it probably was last year.
Yeah.
It probably was last year. But so I would, you know, I don't.
I don't want him
going.
to go.
No, I don't want him to go because
disappear.
there is something about that, especially with the technology, with them big mega screens and the noise when they do the noise advert and the noise is going around you, especially when you do watch a blockbuster, because you're hearing a car go chasing like that and your ears are following it around the whole cinema. I don't think you can beat that experience.
Yes.
But I do think you're right. I do think that it is a dying breed, regardless of what's going on.
Yeah,
like what you said at the
regardless.
start.
Well, that's what I think. This is what I'm presuming.
Yeah, like what you said at the start of the podcast. The video cast, the podcast, whatever we're calling it. It's a video vid podcast.
We was going to call it VidCon, but I think that's been taken by something. That's some show, in it.
Whatever you said at the top of the episode, anyway.
I don't know what I said.
About, is it a dying breed? Yeah, I think it is, and will, you know, you could say in 10 years' time,
yes,
will there be cinemas?
I'm going to stick my neck on the line and say no.
I don't think there will be. I think it'll be a nostalgia thing to go and see it, and I think you might get more things like drive-throughs and things like that. You'll get events like that, and you can rent home cinema systems for your back gardens.
Well, soon you'll be.
That's how people will be watching films together.
The tellies are getting bigger.
Yeah.
10 years ago, you didn't have a 50-inch telly, did you?
No.
But in 20 years' time, you're going to say, oh, you only got a 50-inch telly.
Yeah, my whole wall's going to be a telly.
It's just going to be a telly.
You're buying a brand new house and it'll come with built-in telly.
They're already coming out
but
with...
it's at half the wall.
They're already coming out with 8K TVs. I think that you can buy them
8K?
now. I think you can purchase an 8K TV
ridiculous.
now, or it's very close. You can buy TVs they're called something like wallpaper. They're as thin as
I've seen them. I've seen them.
Because
Because I don't work out how the sound works on them. I don't
know.
They're brilliant.
But no, right. So them really thin ones, I think I've seen it. They'll have a soundbox separate. I think so anyway. Right. I think because I've seen someone reviewing.
They're like thinner than the wire.
They're thinner than air.
But I was listening to something when they was talking about now when a studio releases a film.
Yeah.
Gone are the days where you had the reel that someone would put on.
Oh, it's all
to the
digital
projector.
now, yeah.
It's all someone pushes a button and I think it sends it electronically or it goes on a memory stick. I can't remember what they said. It's so different now.
It's going to be a lot different.
It's literally someone pushes a button in the projector room, and it's not even like a projector. It's just a thing. I don't know what the terminology is.
It's a projector.
Yeah,
but I don't know what sort of projector.
Digital one.
I think it's a.
I'm sure our tech-minded viewers.
It's a projector.
We'll put in the comments how a film is put.
Because I always thought that would be a really good job. You're the projecting whatever else.
Yeah. See, I've always thought to myself, I probably wouldn't mind working in a cinema, and I don't mean I want to be on the popcorn aisle. But what do they do? So we've said that they don't show you to your seat anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But when they did, just for the sake of the video. When they did, then people that used to stand by the door and they'd say, oh yeah, you're at row F, that's up there, and oh no, you're over there, and they'd come and sort out if someone had the same seats and what have you. Those little ushers that they don't have anymore. But when they did, what do they do when the film starts? Where do they go?
They literally probably...
And forget the fact that we're talking a multiplex that has probably got, say, 20 screens. So you probably have 5 ushers.
I reckon what they do. So you're talking about when you're going back and someone would see you in.
Yeah.
But in them days, the cinema was only be about 3-4 screens, wouldn't it? You weren't a 20 screener.
No.
I reckon they come out and this ain't a distance. I reckon they was cleaning the toilet.
Oh, you think they probably had work to do? But would there have been times? Let's say it's the first night of the new Star Wars film. The usher sees everyone in, and they had to stand by the door and watch it. I have seen
them standing.
I've seen them at the end when you come
maybe
out.
That's when I've seen them.
I've seen them standing there at the end because they've all got bags with them because they're ready to. Because it's a quick turnaround, isn't it?
Clear up.
So they sweep up all that.
But if I ever worked in a cinema, I would want it to be like literally when it's free screen, you're almost running it on your own.
Yeah.
Because then you can go, but you won't want to watch the same film 4 times in one day.
No, I went to no, you wouldn't. That's what I mean. You try and watch it once.
You'd watch it once.
If there was not many people and you didn't have much other work to do. But I went to a really old cinema in Worthing.
Oh, right.
I think it's called the Dome in Worthing, and this was only last year. So about a year ago, and that weren't even old school with someone big. That was like sitting in someone's front room.
Was it?
It's only like 50 seats. It's a 2-screen cinema, and there's the biggest normal cinema. But then you go upstairs, it's like going up to someone's attic, and there's about 6 long rows of like sofas. But our seats were on a 2-seater thing at the back.
No.
But so we were almost sitting at an angle, and the screen was there. And although there was people in front of us, and you probably saw about 97% of the screen.
Yeah.
Unless the people in front of us had been tall, which fortunately they weren't, and not wearing an hat. But it was actually quite enjoyable.
It was quite enjoyable.
It made it a bit different. We watched that. That was the last time I went to cinema. Last Christmas. I saw that. It was November last year.
I went to cinema to see that as well.
Yeah, but I saw it in the Dome at Worthing. But so I think things like that would stay around, not necessarily that one.
Yes, yeah,
but you'd have, I mean,
like the independent one.
The little independent ones and all that. But also it makes me think of like these multiplexes. If in 10 years' time, what are they going to do with them? Because there's all that space.
That'd be flats.
Yeah, but some of them are in big shopping centres, aren't they? They turn
What?
into an ice
So
rink,
this
things like that,
would
wouldn't
go on to a different episode because we're ending this in a second. We've got enough. I think we'll bring this up and we'll do a part 2 of this. Shopping centres. I still don't think they'll be around much longer.
Oh, because you think of the online shopping. And
I think they're just going to go.
But is it not going to put
There'd
more
be
traffic?
flats.
There'd be more traffic on the road.
There'd just be flats. Why are you driving around flats?
No, it'd be more traffic because of all the delivery drivers.
Yeah,
or it'd be drones. I see Amazon are trialling a drone delivery system.
I don't think that'll work.
No, I don't think it will.
I don't think.
If I've ordered an ironing board off Amazon, there ain't a drone bringing it to my house, is it?
No. On that note, we'll end this episode here. If you have comments you want to talk about cinemas or films in general, put them below. We read every single comment. Well, mostly. Most of them.
You do.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Most of them.
But thanks for watching Waffle and Ramble.
We'll see you tomorrow. No, we'll see you next
Time.
week. Next
week.
Next time. Have you done that ending yet?
No.
No.
We haven't got an ending.
We'll sort out the ending. Join us next week.